I don't know why I bother to do anything fancy with splash pages and anything like that, because inevitably my fat fingers inevitably do something stupid every single time when I'm like, I'm going to have a fancy intro. Look at my thumbnail. It's going to be great. And it was great until like I was moving, trying to make the screen on my screen bigger. And then all of a sudden I heard a whew, and it was gone. Deleted. No idea where it went. Whew, that was it. Like this little swoop nose. Whew. What was that? And it was gone. Anyway, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Technically Speaking Live. It is Wednesday, 8 p.m. And as I always mention, it is 10 a.m. in our Queensland, Australia, Technically Speaking office. Shouts out to our folks down in Queensland. Got a bit of an interesting show today. Like 11th hour type stuff went down just before the show started. Some major creators, including Front Page Tech, had their channel hacked. And John Prosser, who kind of created that channel, sort of tweeted out exactly what happened. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, which coincides a lot with Shannon Morris being on the show just a few weeks ago, talking about two-factor authentication bypass with a SIM swap. So we will definitely talk about that. I may have done a few things this week in terms of content creation, so we're probably going to talk about that too. There has been some in mostly like the local circle of people that I follow goes, oh, MKBHD had it for 2 weeks. Yeah, well, let me show you what Peachy actually does. And I have had it for 2 months, which is a legit thing. So I'll probably talk about that. Talk about the fact that I did surgery on Statz's ear at 10:30 this morning. True statement. We did wear masks, so we maintained proper hygiene etiquette. I have a special guest joining today, Brother Ben, the lover of tech from the UK. It is like 1 o'clock in the morning there. The man is a madman. Probably one of the smartest people I've ever met. He's a crazy man and love it. So we'll have him on here shortly. So yeah, that's kind of my opening monologue. Because of some of the videos that I have made this week, there's been a lot of people that have started to follow me. So shout out to everybody new. If you're seeing this for the first time, welcome to Technically Speaking Live. I see a lot of the folks in the chat. We got CDF, man. What's popping good? What's good, y'all? Michael Daniels, thank you so much, very much for the super chat. I appreciate that. Miss Sheila, as always, appreciate you. 10-minute tech. What's up? What's up? Gabriel Black, tech for your needs. Welcome to the channel. But I got to bring the staple in, and I'm going to literally talk about exactly what had to happen earlier this morning. Everybody knows him. Everybody loves him. Stats. Make sure you unmute.
I unmuted.
There you go. You were going to forget, though, for like a hot second, weren't you?
No, I was hovering over it, but every once in a while, the first time I push the button, it doesn't work. So I gotta get after it a little bit.
Yeah. So, Stats. Well, hang on. Gabriel, thank you very much. I appreciate this comment. The video was impressively detailed. I'm going to talk about that video specifically and talk about both the good and the bad, a little bit of pull back the curtain a little bit on how that video has taken off the way that it has. But Stats.
Yes, sir.
What happened this morning, what happened was I get a frantic Duo message, and we are Google Duo users.
Frantic is a little bit of an overstatement. I'll let you go.
You were a bit.
I was nervous.
You were nervous. Okay, that's a fair statement. You were a little more nervous. So I'm sitting like I have work meetings during the day, as most people do, and I get a Duo message, but I don't check it because like it comes in like I get a Duo message and then I get another one like immediately back to back, and I was like, that's a little bit weird. First of all, Bionic Scoop, thank you, my brother. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for stopping by. But the message was Stats telling me what he's going to tell you guys, and then the next one was I'm at your back door, like I'm in your backyard. Stats, what was the first message you sent to me?
So I had a little bit of a miscue this morning. I was doing something that people aren't supposed to do when they're in the bathroom, and
Whoa, whoa,
that is
whoa.
using a Q-tip on the inside of my ear. And unfortunately, this Q-tip was of extremely subpar manufacturer, and the little fluffy cotton piece came off inside my ear, and one of the mistakes that was made in designing this massively handsome human being standing in front of you is that no matter how you crane your neck, how you twist your body, you can't see the inside of your own ear.
Nope,
So,
sure can't.
having had some inner ear issues in the past, I was a little worried about leaving the cotton in there for any longer than it needed to be. So I thought I sent you a duo message as I was leaving my house, but in my nervousness to get out the door, I didn't actually hit the send button.
No, you didn't.
So I realized that when I opened up my phone, when I got to your house, which is approximately 13 minutes away from mine, so I sent it, and then I immediately sent the second message of, oh, by the way, I'm here. And then you and your lovely wife were very kind and considerate. You did not, as far as I know, damage my eardrum,
Nope.
and you removed the offending piece of cotton quickly and easily to allow us all to relax and go back to work.
Yeah. So let me just say this much: it was fairly quick. Like from the minute you walked in to the minute that it came out, it could not have been more than 4 minutes. Maybe.
Probably not. No.
I was
Just
like
long enough for me to hug the kids and say thank you.
Yeah, so I literally like sent a message to the person I was getting ready to have a one-on-one with and say, I'm going to be 5 minutes late. And I was only 3 minutes late to that meeting. And I saved Stats' ear. That's effectively what I'm going to say.
Did.
Eventually, at the end of the show, it will be where I've saved the entire right side of your face.
As long as you give at least half the credit to your wife, because she was there.
She saved the left half. But anyway, we've got to bring in another guest. My tag team, the tag team partner extraordinaire, the champion currently of Saturday Night Tech Fights, the man, the myth, the legend, ladies and gentlemen, the lover of tech. Ben, what is the good word, brother? Muted. Okay. I was gonna say
I'm leaning back in the chair. I'm chilling. Let me get my neck pillow.
Get your pillow.
Yes.
It is, for the folks that don't know, Ben is literally in the future. It is 1:09 in the morning in the UK. 1:09, is that right?
Correct.
I always say UK. I got to make sure it is the UK, right?
Yep. The
Okay.
United Kingdom.
Okay. I always just have to make sure.
No longer part of the EU, but still the UK.
Hey.
Still the UK for now.
Yeah.
Hopefully the kingdoms of England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland don't want to break up anytime soon.
Well, yeah. So I would say you guys have a mess, but then US. We're all we're all a bit of a mess. So we'll just swoop.
Well, technically,
we're gonna swoop past the side on that.
Yeah, Hamilton. The UK is all, or the US is all the UK's fault. So Mad King George. And all that.
Look, I make a mean King George. Like I got pipes. I can sing that. Don't tempt me. But we've had a big week this week. Pixel 4a has come out. I've done a video. Ben's done a video. A lot of folks in the comments have done videos or watched videos. There's a ton of stuff that's come out there. I have been called a charlatan. I've been called a fanboy in a lot of the comments, which is always fun. The whole reason why I put out the video where I said to roll the tape specifically, because I knew that people would not believe me. And Ben called me out in a good way saying, man, you did it again. You did it again. And yeah, it's true. So I had a chance to use the Pixel 4a for a couple months, but everybody here knows my viewpoint except for Stats because he's not a good friend and he doesn't watch my content. But Ben, I would love to know your thoughts. I haven't had a chance to watch your video. I would love to know your thoughts on the 4a.
You should have watched the video first.
I know. I didn't get a chance to watch the video.
Scott, I'm on to you now. I'm joking. It's the first Pixel device that I actually outright like and understand where it sits. I've kind of been heavily critical of Pixel devices and where they sit demographically from a UK perspective. And even the one that I approved of the most, which was the Pixel 4, I did a reaction video to that when it came out, and I still found the device confusing just because it didn't have things like a 256 gig option, for the price that it was going at, which I just didn't like. I'm like, oh, you're only giving me 128, damn. I used to have base storage of 64, damn. Whereas the Pixel 4a, just where it sits is I like it's still under stiff competition, but I like where it sits a lot more. It's late to the party, but it's arrived in I think in a good and simple fashion.
Yeah, probably the thing that surprises me the most out of the 4A is I now can like show it off in all its goodness. Here is so this, I got a case for it that's clear because I actually really like if I wanted a skin from like a D brand skin, I could do that. It's a bit slippery. Like it'll surprise you how slippery it is, but because of its small footprint, it's very much a one-handable device. And like I said in my video, the only thing that I miss when comparing the 4A to my 4XL is literally just the screen real estate. That's it. I have a video coming out tomorrow where I talk about the difference between the 4A and the 4XL. And I got to tell you, it's not a lot. It's not a huge difference. And I think somebody said it, I don't remember who it was on Twitter. Somebody said it real, like the best, where they said, Google is a software company. And they've really nailed the software part to the point where their software is so good. I don't necessarily know if they have to be in the high-end phone market in terms of the hardware price point, because their computational photography is it is so good. So that would be one thing I would say.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. That's true. That is very true. It's they've placed it well. They've placed it well. It's still, I think it has less competition in the US apart from the iPhone SE. So the physical dimensions, how does it is it the same size as the SE but just for the fact that it has all screen, like not the screen size but the dimensions of the phone?
Yeah, so it's roughly right about the same size as the SE from a physical like hardware footprint. But because of the massive forehead and the chin on the iPhone, that iPhone screen, and so you got to remember, I've already said, like, from my perspective, the only thing I missed was obviously the bigger real estate from the 4XL to this one. But then you take that and you add some pretty sizable bezels on the SE, and that screen real estate's significantly smaller than what you're accustomed to. And the comments on some of the videos that I've seen, the comments on my videos where they say like, well, the iPhone's video is so much better and blah, 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 blah. It's for me, it wasn't that close. And when you're seeing folks like Super Saf, the tech chap come out and say, I mean, on the iPhone, they like the look of the iPhone video, but they're not going like it blows away the Pixel. Not like it used to. That gap on the video, the way that the Pixel 4 has handled video, has closed quite a bit. Now, is it an iPhone 11 Pro Max? No, but it's not priced that way, and that's not its direct competitor on purpose. What I'll be interested to see in some of the rumors you're seeing about the Pixel 5, they're talking about how that thing is going to be, somewhere in the vicinity of, it's going to be 5G and it's going to have 120 hertz refresh rate. I don't know all that stuff. But also the rumor is going to be 6.67 inches. So that's a larger phone, a phone that I would really, really like. So really great. But if they can, again, make up the gap in the video between what is now the 4 and 4A, it sounds like the audio is so much better. The video is really starting to catch up. They could close that gap pretty quickly. on the video. And that's probably the thing that I love the most out of the 4A is it shows me the art of the possible and what the Pixel 5 could potentially be. Because they've closed a lot of the things. Like I was very critical of the Pixel's audio recording on video. The Pixel 4 before it, the Pixel 3 before that, and the 2, the audio on like the actual video. So if I'm recording a video when I'm talking to that phone, it used to be awful, but the 4A is so much better, lightning years better.
Well, I'm glad they listened to your reviews on the 3XL and the 3A. So I'm actually astonished because, you know, I am obviously Team Android and have been for a while since you converted me to the dark side, Scott.
Welcome to the dark side.
I was looking up the iPhone SE specs. With the forehead and the chin, their screen is only 4.7 inches.
Yeah.
The 4A, which just came out, is 5.8 inches. Mm-hmm. That is a full inch bigger of real estate.
Yeah. I mean, and it's like that little hole punch that they have in the upper left-hand corner, you don't notice it at all. Like it's not even close, but you notice the gigantic bezels. In my opinion, using the iPhone SE, you notice those bezels a lot more. Do you get used to it with a lot of usage? Absolutely. But one thing I never worried about day one on this at all was the hole punch design in the upper left. It never once bothered me. But I'm also not bothered by the chin or the forehead or the notch on any phone. So I may not be the right use case. I think Ben might be asleep. He just looks so comfortable. And like El Jefe says, he says that Ben's hoodie pillow is the truth. Amen to that, El Jefe.
This is my favorite purchase for no.
I mean, looks like you're ready to head out to Sherwood Forest and hang out with Robin Hood or something.
Oh my God, I love it. I'm gonna break out my blanket. I'm gonna break out my crown for Saturday.
Oh, don't you have a Snuggie or a Slanket? Or
oh
something
yeah.
Like did you say blanket? You know.
I love it. I'm so glad. So I got a lot of people coming in. Gary from Contractor POV, thank you so much. Harmless Carl, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. Tech for Your Needs, I really appreciate the comment on my video. Tech Odyssey, go have a good show, my brother. Gabriel bring up a good point. I'm going to get to that. Is I believe that the Microsoft hardware, Google software combination could actually be very interesting. If you were to tell me, because I am a huge fan, and we'll talk about the Fold 2 here in a bit. I loved the Samsung Fold 1, so the original Fold. I thought it was great. I loved using it. Shout out to Jason from Tuna Tech for letting me borrow the phone. I thought it was great. But that Surface Duo phone that Microsoft has, I'll be honest, I am wildly interested in that phone. But if you could tell me I could get like a Pixel-like experience with that, whew, Lord, that would be incredible. So I would like to see that. Gabriel, I don't know if it will, but that would be dynamite if it does. So let's go to some of the stuff that we want to talk about today. Let's see. Ben, did you watch, what is it called? It wasn't called Unpacked, was it?
Yeah.
Is this so called Unpacked?
Yep, Unpacked.
I did not get a chance to watch it. I don't know if you got a chance to watch it, but I heard that it was super cringy.
Yeah, Apple have just raised the bar way too high for how you do a virtual keynote now. Well, it's like they're just doing too much, and there's Apple, which credit to them. So I think when you see what could be done, and then you just see what Samsung did, it's like it's boring. And then unfortunately, the products aren't boring. I don't think the products are boring. I'll have a video on my thoughts on the Z Fold 2, hopefully Friday. Script it and just put it out there. The products are impressive, but maybe one of them which is just overpriced and stupid, which is the normal Note.
That was good. Note. Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because Tech Odyssey, actually, Adam put out a wonderful tweet and I'm going to actually pull up the tweet while I am sitting here because I thought it was really, really good. Adam comes out and says 1080p screen, OLED display, 60 hertz refresh rate, great camera experience, 128 gigs of storage, both made of plastic. One company is doing right things. The other company has lost their mind. Both of those devices, everything that Adam just mentioned is the same in both devices. The Pixel 4a is $350. The Note 20 is $1,000. $1,000. And
Samsung lost the plot there.
What were they going for?
They lost the plot. I don't know why not just put a 90 hertz display, like just put a 90 hertz display, put a 256 gig storage, and then whatever else you want to do, then it's cool. But you can't charge £1,000, $1,000 for that. That's like a 2-year-old phone, or maybe being a bit generous, a year-old phone, if you're speccing it the way you're speccing it and pricing it the way you're pricing it. And you can't say, oh, it has the Snapdragon 865 Plus. That's not enough. Like,
no,
I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what they were thinking when they brought out a great tablet like the Tab S7 Plus, which is a 12.4-inch tablet with an AMOLED screen and 120 hertz. That's the first of its kind. Like, and the hardware on that tablet, like, it looks serious. You know. And then you've got the Note 20, Note 20 Ultra, which looks solid. And then the Z Fold 2, which is a device hardware-wise that is at least 3 to 5 years ahead of its time. Like,
really?
No joke.
Why?
Yeah,
like, I know why, but I would love to know your thoughts as to why is it so far ahead.
So hardware-wise, I wasn't expecting to see the level of upgrades that they did to it. Like, a flexible screen display that is high resolution and 120 hertz, I thought we were I thought that was going to come maybe 2023.
Yep.
You know, but in a space of a year, they've managed to put a high refresh rate, flexible folding screen display. And I don't know if anyone thinks that's not impressive, but I think that's just next level ahead of its time.
I mean, for me, the idea that they even made foldable HD, cool. But now, like, foldable HD at 120 hertz. Okay, wait a minute. Like, that's a different level ball game.
Yeah. That plus the heavy criticism that they had with the outer display being so not usable, to basically giving you a screen that is like your normal smartphone on the outside. It's slimmer, it's boxier. It's, to me personally, I think the Z Fold 2, bar the silly name, is honestly, to me, 3 to 5 years ahead of it. I was expecting to see a phone like that mature come half of this decade, 2025. But the fact that they brought it forward so quickly, I'm like, damn, you know, this. Yeah, so it just baffles me what their mindset was on the normal Note 20 for it to be such poor value and such a waste of time. And I don't know whether they made it to make sure that the Note 20 Ultra looked the best. But my point is, then why create a phone that no one's gonna buy? Then you're just creating more hardware that's just gonna be redundant. You're gonna create more e-waste, and no one's gonna buy these phones. And what's gonna happen to them? You know, so it's almost like, what's the point? I don't know. That's my mind.
I think that it's about it's at least $200 too high on the regular plastic Note 20. $800, you know, $799. Okay, I could have kind of got behind something like that. But I like, okay, cool. Like you said, you get a better processor. Cool. You get a better chip. All right. I mean, great. You know, people are going to make comments like IP. Well, the Note 4 isn't IP rated. Okay, let's get something clear about the whole IP rating thing that folks need to remember. Because it doesn't have an IP rating doesn't mean that the device actually couldn't be water resistant. It just means that the company didn't pay for it to be tested for water resistance. Might I also add what some of the things are from the IP rating, the testing of that? And so when something is tested for it, they effectively put the device in some sort of container and shoot jets of water at it for literally 30 minutes. I mean, that's effectively what they're trying to do. But companies have to pay for the IP rating. Well, guess who that gets passed down to? The consumers. So just because it doesn't have an IP rating doesn't mean if you drop it in the toilet or a glass that it's not going to work. That's not what that means at all. It just means the company didn't pay for it. So like that's not a differentiator for me either. People talk about the S Pen. No, I mean, whatever, you know what I mean? Like that's not a thing. People talk about the battery life. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now, the 4A is not a battery. That's not a battery problem, period. And it even has a bigger battery than previous Pixel generations. So they've actually put more battery in the 4A. So I mean, it's those types of situations. And then, you know, Gary says it best right here. The Note 4 had a plastic back. The Note 4, we're on the 20. The Note 4, $799 when it was released. So now that you say it, like, I'm like, what were they thinking back then? But hey, whatever it is. Ladies and gentlemen, the mayor himself is in the house. The mayor, Mr. Nate Root, the mayor, the man, the myth, the legend. Good evening, Mayor. Welcome to the show. Larry's come in. I guess that they figured that this is a good one. It has to be $1,000 phone because the top end iPhone is $1,000. I guess they figured that if they release it cheaper, the top iPhone could be perceived as lesser. They would be perceived lesser than the iPhone. I guess I could see that. I
still don't buy it. I still don't buy it. Not even because of iPhone. There's an S20 that is a cut down version of the S20 Plus and the S20 Ultra, and that S20 still has a quad high definition resolution display, and it has 120 hertz.
Mm-hmm.
So my point is, forget iPhone. Just they are their own worst. They are their own worst enemy. Yep. I would say just get a normal S20 because.
Yeah, I would get the normal S20 or the Plus before I'd get the Note.
Yeah, the normal. Yeah, so it's not even about, hey, look at Apple. I'm like, look at yourself.
Mm-hmm. They missed on the Note. What was the price on the Fold 2, the Z Fold 2? 2,000?
I think it's about 2,000.
That is so steep. But again, the argument I go back to, and I've used a foldable, so I can kind of say this. I am not a tablet person. I'm just not. But I will say, with having a device that's roughly the size of, I'm holding this up like this is it. But if I have a device where I have a usable front screen, much better than the Fold 1, so I can one-hand it here, but if I want to enjoy content like videos, or I want to play video games or read a book or whatever, and I can open it, just dropped my phone. It's a total game changer. I could not be a bigger fan of foldables based on the usage that I saw with the Fold 1. I'm more excited for the Z Fold 2 than I am anything else Samsung released today.
Yeah, it's still too rich for my blood, but I think they knocked it out the park. Mm-hmm. I think hardware wise is such a technical marvel that I think people will still miss it, unfortunately, because they will be looking at the price, which is fair.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
But I mean, the outer display is like a normal. It's basically like this. It's full screen. It's like 6.2 inches, fully borderless. You open inside. It's like 7.6 inches. It's all screen as well, single hole punch, and it's bright, and it's high resolution, and it's 120 hertz. And then you've got the hinge mechanism that can kind of fold at 90 degree, halfway, 45 degrees, and stay still. It doesn't fall. Which you can just use it as a stand to like watch your videos. There's a feature on there where if you're in your camera, the top half of the display will show it as your viewfinder, and down at the bottom is literally your gallery already preloaded.
Yep.
So as you take a picture, you're in your gallery. Like you start, it's like those little things, and then just the design of it being off, like the matte finish on the new notes. It looks like, to me personally, that device is. I don't think they needed to go that hard. I really don't think they needed to go that hard, but they went to a place where I'm thinking, yo, you guys went kind of far. Damn. Okay, cool. I rock. That's damn. All right. Cool.
And see, this actually brings up a good point. Gabriel brought up here. He's surprised they're not marketing their A-line phones more in a world where entry to Apple is now $400 and Google is $350. It does feel really tone deaf. I will give you that. Like, it feels like they really whiffed on something like this in a world. And I've said this before, and I was kind of hinting at it in my Pixel video, is this is a software world now. Like, this is just where we are. Did we reach peak smartphone? Greg and I talked about that a lot several years ago. Did we reach peak smartphone outside of something like the Fold, which is a technological hardware marvel? A straight candy bar slab phone, there's only so much you can do. You saw Samsung really miss with that whole autofocus mess that they'd had with the S20 Ultra. I'm hoping that the Note doesn't suffer from that same thing. I don't know. Obviously, I don't have the device or anything like that, but I think that...
Sure you don't.
Yeah, I know, right? I think the thing that we have to be cognizant of is, and I'll be critical of Samsung here, I really think, like, from a software experience, while it's decent, it is no Google or Apple. It is... it's neat.
Well, and I think, for me... I look at it as how they all make their money. I mean, Apple is a product company at its very core. They make things and they sell them. Google is a service and data collection company. Samsung is a broad spectrum electronics company. And by far, they are the oldest of the three. And they, in my opinion, are much more diversified across their entire product line. So maybe what they're trying to do is, to Gabriel's point, is they're setting their prices so high that they're going to get a very small market share. But what they do get on each of those devices is a massive amount of profit on each individual device, because they know they can make it up from all of the TVs and the stereos and everything else that they sell all over the world.
I mean, but to me, like, and again, I'm not trying to be critical of Samsung here, because again, I think they really nailed the Fold. I'm just really confused as to, like, what do I do with a Samsung device? The best video and photos are not on their devices, in my opinion. Right. Like, it's just, they're not. The best video on any smartphone, in my opinion, is Apple. Okay. The best photos, arguably, Pixel. What is the identity of Samsung? A lot of people say they're screens, but really
no. I can tell you, because I'm ex-Samsung. I used to work for Samsung for like almost 3 years.
Perfect. Tell me.
It's all about being the jack of all trades. That's it. It's as simple as that. People always miss it with Samsung. They're not there trying to specify a particular experience apart from literally just trying to be the jack of all trades. That is it.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is that they've got Google support because of the software, but they want to push their Samsung services. Then they've got Microsoft OneDrive support that's integrated into their online backup. And then they've got Alexa next to Bixby, next to Google Assistant, all at the same time with their IoT as well as their devices. You've got Dex, which is their desktop experience, and you've still got Microsoft Office support. Yeah. And you've got Google Docs support. So this is why I try and tell people, they're not trying to funnel you into a specific thing. They just want to be the jack of all trades. They want to be the junction that every car model drives through and gets to have their thing. That's what they want to do.
And to me, that makes a lot of sense in a lot of different ways. And some I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I would want to do that. A perfect example. I think having the integration directly with Microsoft and Google, brilliant, wonderful idea. I will say this, when I was using the Fold and even on the S20 Plus before this, when I was using Microsoft apps, outstanding experience, loved it. So like that integration to me makes sense, especially even with Google Drive, Google Docs. That experience was even fantastic. It was flawless on a Samsung device. And then I go to things like the assistant, Bixby. What? Like that thing is a mess. Like it's a bigger mess than Siri. And that's saying something, in my opinion. But again, I use a Pixel device. The Google Assistant's the top of the rung for me. And I think we all would agree that's probably the best one that's out there right now. So that's a really hard one to swallow. And they're talking about actually saying, well, we're not going to have Bixby anymore. We're just going to integrate with the Google Assistant. That's a great idea. Samsung Smart Things, I think that's another great idea. Now having the ability to use your phone to interact with your television, great idea. Like those are unique customer experiences that I think they should really double down on and market that. Like if you a lot of people is like the jack of all trades with phones. If you told me that, hey, I don't care if you live in the Microsoft universe or the Google universe, I got a phone. I can help you bounce in between the two. I will be the conduit for you. Oh, you want to use your television? Let me help you out with that. I actually have something that can be a conduit for you to do that. And that's a really unique customer experience for me and maybe just because I don't pay attention to Samsung, I've just missed that. But I think that would be something really fun to experience. Even better if they did that on their, $300 or $400 A line. Man, that would be a really unique thing, I think, for folks to get really embedded into the Samsung ecosystem.
Well, okay, I'll ask you this question then. I know the answer to it. What do you think Bixby's biggest strength is?
It would be the integration with the Internet of Things from Samsung Smart Things. It would be my guess.
It's one of them, but actually, this is where I blame Samsung for my time when I was there. I was at Samsung from when? October 2016 to February 2019, so just under 3 years. So they communicated Bixby so wrong. I remember the training. Oh, very wrong. I remember the internal training. Even the people that were training us didn't understand it. Like they didn't understand it. Bixby's biggest strength is the ability to control your device. Google contextually can understand how you speak to it through search.
Yeah.
Bixby's not about that. So everyone went into Bixby thinking that it's going against Google for how it can contextually understand search. That's why when you ask Bixby anything to do with the internet, it's just clueless. It doesn't have a clue. It doesn't have that integration, right? What Bixby can do, it can actually control your phone. Like if you tell Bixby swipe right on the home screen, it will do it.
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah, there you go. Open WhatsApp, message my wife, type this message and send it. It will do it.
I legit didn't know that.
There you go. The fact that Bixby has been around since Galaxy S8, right? And people don't know that it can actually physically control your phone as if you're touching it. The reason why it has that strength is it's meant to actually improve you not interacting with your phone while driving.
What?
That's why it was created.
My God, what a miss.
Yeah. This is like, it's not even like a fanboy thing, but it's Samsung's fault. Samsung communicated so bad. And the reason why I said that it communicated so bad, it was me and not to toot my own horn, but it was mostly me when I was sitting there tinkering with my S8 pre-production model, and I was discovering these things about it. And I'm like, they've just missed how to actually market this, because they've come and people are expecting them to be like, this is a Google assistant comparator.
I thought it was.
Yeah. No. The strength of Bixby is actually your phone itself. It can control it with your voice, like as if you are controlling it with your fingers. That's the power of Bixby. But because they never communicated it properly, right? It's been memed as the worst assistant. But actually, when you actually think about it, Bixby's as powerful or more powerful, but just in a different way. But if you say that because of how poor Samsung's communication and marketing is, right? You just wouldn't ever know. You just would never know.
I'll
be honest. Sad, but I just stopped defending Bixby. I'm like, I'm not defending something that the creators of it don't know how to communicate their own product. So that's their problem.
I legit had no idea. Like, you could tell Bixby swipe right on this, send us text, and WhatsApp. I knew you could do some of that, but like, there's level of contextual awareness there that was literal years ahead of some, like definitely years ahead of Siri for sure. And I had no idea until you just said that.
Yeah, and you're not the only one. You shouldn't feel bad. It's Samsung's fault. I don't blame no one for not knowing. It's Samsung's fault. Let me give you an example. Who remembers the advert with Siri from Apple with Dwayne Johnson literally going through and just doing Siri commands and stuff like that, right? To the point where even Marquez did a reaction video to the Siri advert with Dwayne Johnson, The Rock.
Never knew that.
I vaguely remember the commercial. Yep. I don't remember Marquez's reaction.
Yep, I'll drop it in the chat. Just to, and this is the difference between a company that knows how to communicate a bad product so well you believe is good. Apple. We all know Siri's rubbish, but they've communicated it so well enough that to any person it's good. To any person it's good, you know. And Google pretty much from when Hugo Barra was still there back in the day.
I remember him, man. He was a good dude.
With Jelly Bean and stuff, they communicated Google Assistant properly from the jump. But yet people keep forgetting. Most people that you ask, you would actually think Google Assistant was the first voice assistant. It wasn't. It was Siri on the 4S. You see, so again, it's a case of like being first doesn't mean you always do it right. So it's
well, and I think one of the things that may have bit Siri a little bit is, you know, Apple has always focused on trying to hand you one thing, and that's the only way that it's ever going to work, versus the Android system, and Google has embraced the ability for integration across platforms using things like if this then that, and, you know, all these other secondary and tertiary systems that will work with the Google Assistant, as opposed to things that only work with Apple, you know.
All right, let me drop that. You just sent that in here. Let me drop that in the chat real quick. Copy. I mean, this is some, like, I'm learning quite a bit about this. I literally didn't know. And you're right. Like, my God, what a miss. What in the world? Oh.
Who was in charge of Samsung when they came out with Bixby?
Well, it was Don Yin Ko, aka Mr. DJ Ko himself, that was still there. But my point is, he's too far up the food chain. He's too far up the food chain, and this is where, like, by context, I always say that your communication for whatever you're trying to do can be so powerful that it can overshadow how bad your product is, to the point where you can still have people still believing in the next product, even though the product that you've given them is so bad. Because of how you've communicated to them, you've pitched it to them, you've made them believe in it, they can easily forgive how bad the product is. That's the difference. So I'll give an example of, even with the camera scene right now, Canon really messed themselves up. Not because they bought out bad products, but they marketed it so wrong that it's going to be the stigma of these R5 and R6s for a good while until people come out of it. And even then, the collateral damage that's done where so many people would have switched over to Sony would have been so crazy, right? Because they communicated the product so wrong that they set people's expectations for one thing, and then that one thing that they made it so big is actually not usable. So then you just get disappointed. Whereas actually what you should have marketed it as is so phenomenal and probably better or as good as the competition that no one cares about it anymore. No one cares that the R5 has 45 megapixels, the best IBIS on a full frame. You can handhold it for 5 seconds and get a stable picture at nighttime with no blur, no shake. No one cares about that.
Nope.
No one cares about that. But that is such a awesome feature to have. No one cares, because for more than half a year, you kept hyping it up as a 8K camera that doesn't crop, that can do all these magical things, only to find out that not only does it overheat, the overheating is not the problem, but you have to actually wait realistically 2 hours to get the same recording time again. That's what I mean about, that's a great product that you've communicated so bad. What makes it great, no one cares about. Even if afterwards you said, hey, actually, you know what? It's meant to be for photography. Well, we don't care. You never said anything about the phone. We didn't even know about the megapixels until later. But you told us about 8K. You told us about 4K 120. You told us about all these things. But like, we don't care. What you told us about is what we want. And because you haven't delivered, we don't care.
Okay, hold on a minute, Ben. We got a person. Got a person in the chat. Dobo's coming through saying Ben's got that cinematic lighting and be that dramatic this Saturday. Oh, Dobo, my friend, I don't think you have to worry about that. Ben and I, we were talking a little bit earlier in the show. We are excited about the opportunity to go toe to toe with some excellent competitors. You and Sean, fantastic creators, fantastic professionals. Ben and I are just lowly non-professionals, just kind of doing the thing that we're doing. We're gonna bring our A game for Saturday. We're excited. We're hoping to withstand our title. But let me say this. It seems awfully quiet compared to that first match. Awfully quiet.
Well, it's only the middle of the week, Scott.
Come on now. Let's go back in that Twitter universe. A little bit before this, I believe that there was some early chirping going on one side of the house. But, I'm not going to name names. There was some, I believe, Slayer of Peaches. I'm going to be the Peach Slayer. That was thrown around a lot. Looking for a good, clean fight. It's going to be a lot of fun. Dobo, you are a consummate professional. I think he might have another show. He goes on live usually on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. to talk about drones. So here we go.
Strategy, yeah. They're going to lay low for the rematch and just bring all the noise on Saturday.
Oh my God, I know he is he's got a new strategy. Yeah, yeah. The good news is go ahead, Ben.
I'm still stuck at the monologuing part.
I'm monologuing. Damn it.
It's like. What did he say? I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to monologue.
I'm trying to monologue here. Damn it. I remember that it was the damn it that got me. I was losing my mind when he said it.
It wasn't even that. It was that let's go through the drive-through. Oh, you're back already? Oh, I'm monologuing. Let's go through the drive-through. She didn't
care about you monologuing.
She just said, let's go to the drive-through. Damn it. And it just cut. I think it was the abrupt cut.
So I'm really looking forward to it.
You're different, man.
Yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be great. I do believe there's a laying low, that new strategy. I think you guys are just going to unleash. It's I think that it's the it's one of those you're laying back and then you're going to see Sean be nice, be Sean be nasty. He came out in that last round, he was Sean be nasty. But one thing I will say, if you haven't checked out a Saturday Night Tech Fight, Tech King Mike over on his channel does a wonderful stats. Can you find the link to his channel and send it in, put it in the chat? That would be fantastic.
No problem. Got it.
The Saturday Night Tech Fights, for those that are maybe new to this live show on Wednesdays, it's just a fantastic show. I think what Mike's doing special. Miss Sheila in the comments, she's a huge fan. Absolutely love the stuff. It is good. I know we have someone in the chat, Jason, who runs I'm Just Saying. He was going to the gym. Have I done the giveaway? I haven't. And actually, that gets into kind of where I want to go now. Rather than pieces of paper, I'm more of a data guy myself. So I did a little bit of a rand between on my Excel spreadsheet. So we have 4 creators. I have a spreadsheet over here where it's formula driven. As soon as I press a button, it will give me a random number. There are 4 creators available for the July giveaway. For those that don't know, check out Jason's Twitter for what that means in terms of all the gifts and goodies that you win. I have Ian's Tech, Andrew M, Sean Brooks, that's AKA Sean Be Nice, Sean Be Nasty, and Dave Tech, D-A-V, what? D-A-V-T-E-C-H. So 1 through 4, just have them labeled there. Rand between, the actual Excel formula is equals rand between 1 through 4 to give me the winner. I'm going to press the enter button, one-time enter, and the winner is... it didn't work. Hang on. Hang on. Sorry.
There is function.
Nope, I forgot to close parentheses. And closing parentheses now, Sean Brooks, actually. So it looks like Sean is actually the winner, ironically enough, which is hilarious. I did not rig it. Yes, it is not rigged. I had to close parentheses because I suck at Excel, evidently, and I used to do it every single day. So congratulations to Sean for winning the July I'm Just Saying. There you go. So that was that right there. It's the, let's see, 52-minute mark in the show. Jason, if you want to take that 52 minutes into the show, that is where we name the winner. So congratulations to Sean. That will be the last thing that you win this week. Sorry, I just had to do it. So, all right. Let's see. I didn't really have much other than that. Ben, it is 1:53 in the morning, dude. What are you doing?
You know what's mad? There's going to be 2 things that I'm going to decide to do. Either go straight to bed or knock out the script so that when I get out, I can just knock the A-roll, edit, and just be ahead. Like, no, actually, I've got to do a 10K run in the morning.
What?
So I got to do a run in the morning. Yeah, man. So I basically exercise Thursday to Monday, 5 days straight. Then my rest days are Tuesday and Wednesday. Yeah. So tomorrow's Thursday, right? Yeah. I've got to do a 10K run. Yeah.
A 10K.
Yep.
That's
10 kilometers, man.
Man, that's a lot of kilometers, dude.
That's 6.2 miles, Scott.
I don't do the math, but it's a lot more. Like it's approximately 9.8 kilometers more than what I would be doing. I can assure you of that.
Last week I did my first half marathon, 21.1 kilometers. So
good for you. How'd you
under 2 hours?
Good for you. That's fantastic. So congratulations on that. I don't know if I've since March walked that many miles because COVID. So I don't get that many. Larry says we need to inspect the source code. Larry, if you'd like to, Microsoft is the place where you can find that. So best of luck. For the folks that are still out there, Saturday Night Tech Fight is going to be the tag team edition rematch of the century. This is the lover of tech himself, Ben, right here, and myself are teaming up again to go against 2 very good professional creators, Sean Be Nice, a.k.a. Sean Brooks, and also the original Dobo that you see here. Ken is a fantastic human being as well, both overwhelmingly both overwhelmingly smart, great individuals. Tuning into the tail end of this, my friend Rusty. Rusty, welcome to the show, my friend. Glad you're able to check out a live episode. I won't say exactly where or anything like this. I did get a chance to chat with Rusty and some of his teammates earlier today in a professional setting, and I'll leave it pretty much right there. I will say this much. Rusty gave one of the best introductions I have ever heard in my professional life. I was so stunned that I told him he was going to replace Stats. So sorry. He was good. Yeah, I'll tell you after the show exactly what you need to work on, because he was fantastic. So,
okay. All right.
So, for the folks that are out there, Ben, plug your channel, my friend. You have a lot of. I mean, the man, he never sleeps. Puts out content constantly. Stats, I'll figure out in the description below. We'll put all of Ben's links in there post show. But the floor is yours, sir.
Yes. So, as you know, me, Ben from Lover of Tech, UK-based, London-based creator. You can find me www.youtube.com/Lover of Tech. That is Lover of Tech, TECH. Also, very active on Twitter as well, Lover of Tech BA. That's BA for the initials, Benjamin Abuaji, all is one word, as well as Instagram, Lover of Tech _BA. Those would be the places where you find me. And at the minute, man, it seems to be like you're getting videos daily. So when you do come and subscribe, man, just be part of Team TLS when you hit that notification squad, the Tech Lover Squad, and you will be getting videos fresh into your inbox off the press.
My like man, that was legit smooth. Like, that was smooth.
He may have done that once.
Yeah, he may have done that a time or two. Like, look, I'm telling you what, like, I'm hot. Right? The accent gets me. Woo, Lord, that was so smooth. It was so good. Woo, Lord, it was good. Absolutely, brother. Anytime. You always have an open invitation. Stats, where can they find you, Stats?
I am at Helix Heinlein on the tweet machine and at Country Smith on the Instagram. And I want to give a special shout out to Miss Sheila, threatening you with bodily harm if you ever try to replace me.
Okay, that's fair, Miss Sheila. Stats, I love you very much. Like, I can't replace you because Miss Sheila would kill me.
Right. That's fair. I'm okay with that.
So, I mean, I'm just going to say it. Like, I love you. I'll do surgery on you as a parent earlier today. I'll help you out if you get something stuck in your ear. But yeah, I won't do it because Miss Sheila will kill me. So There's that. You can find me on Twitter at Scott Peachy. You can find me on the Instagram at the Scott Peachy, youtube.com/technically speaking. I'm really trying to make one up like Ben had on the fly, and I just cannot come up with how smooth that was. My goodness sakes alive. But you can find both Ben and I this Saturday on Tech King Mike's channel, Saturday Night Tech Fights. It is in the comments, and I'll make sure that is in the description below as well. We are battling Sean Brooks, a.k.a. Sean Be Nice, Sean Be Nasty, and the original Dobo, Ken, to see if we can maintain the Saturday Night Tech Fights tag team title. So we will see you all Saturday. Thanks for joining. I'll be back again next week with Stats, and who knows else might show up. I'll see you next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time and 10 a.m. Queensland on Thursdays. And thanks for coming, y'all. Have a great evening.
See ya.
Peace.